Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Shri Shailaabhijanamburaṣiṣanam Shri Krishna Tatatmajam Shri Shailanvaya Devanata Sudhiya Praptagamantadvayam Padabje Nasimhatate Guroho Nistatma Rakshabharam Vidvadvrinda Chakora Chandiramaham Ramanujaryam Shraye Sriranga Sudha Madhusamaswadayantam Sriranga Mahishi Padapankajatmajam Sulabhashrayam Sada Moda Siddhamadbhutam Bhajeham Gurum Tam Ranganatha Priyam Sukhasanastham Hridayabja Pithe Jinmudraya Lankata Pani Padmam Shubhopavitam Vimalortha Puntram Namami Rangam Gurum Mantarenge Namami Yoga Samragnim Vijayam Vijayapradam Srirangardha Sanasinam Karunam Mataram Guru Rupa Paranjyotihi Jyoti Rupa Guru Paraha Ajnana Mandiram Hyetate Guru Vijnana Mandiram Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangum langhayate girim yatkripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam yontah pravishya mama vācamimāṁ prasuttāṁ sanjīvayatyakila shaktidhara svadhamna anyāṁsya hastacharana shravanatvagadine pranān namo bhagavate purushāya tubhyam jayatyāshrita santrāsa dhvanta vidvamsanodayah prabhāvān sītaya devya Paramavyoma Bhaskaraha Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Chayachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Dadamyetadvratam Mama Manojavam Martatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukyam Sriramadutam Shirasa Namami Vedavedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharathatmaje Vedah Pracheta Sadasite Sakshat Ramayanatmana. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus, will commence our session today. So in the last session, we had just started the Sarga, which talks about the Pushpaka Vimanam in more detail, isn't it? That is Ashtama Sarga. So we had completed the 7th chapter and had just started on the Ashtama Sarga, which is called Pushpaka Anuvarnanam, which is essentially a more detailed explanation of Pushpaka Vimanam. Satasya Madhye Bhavane, that's the first shloka of 8th Sarga called Pushpaka Anuvarnanam. Samsthitam Mahadvimanam Bahuratna Chitritam Pratatta Jambunada Jala Kritrimam Dadarsha Viraha Pavanatmajaha Kapihi. So Hanuman, he saw the Pushpaka Vimanam, or the great chariots, which is very, very flowery, not only to look at, but also decked with different types of flowers. And it is also rendered with various types of gems, diamonds, and whatnot. So this keeps this theme keeps repeating for several more slokas now. Okay, Pratapta Jambunada Jala Kritrimam. It is latticed with gold all over. Okay, and Hanuman saw this particular Pushpaka Vimanam. Let's continue the discussion on that. Tadaprameya pratikara kritrimam kritam swayam sadhviti vishwakarmana divam gatam vayupathe pratishtitam virajataditya pathasya lakshmavate. Continuing the description of Pushpaka Vimanam, it is mentioned here, Tad aprameya apratikara kritrimam. That is, there is nothing equivalent to this particular Pushpaka Vimanam in terms of beauty. There is immeasurable beauty, not only beauty, it also depicts the skill which has gone into architecting, designing, delivering, maintaining the software life cycle. So the entire process of designing, building it, and eventually it's after you design and build it, it should be usable. So this is something which is, you will see later, that it is floating in the air. So it is serving its purpose. So it's immeasurable in terms of the not only beauty, but immeasurable also in terms of the skill that has gone into building this one. Kritam Swayam Sadhviti Vishwakarmana. So this is built by Vishwakarma, and he himself appreciates his art of his work of art. So you can treat this as egoistic, but where you see that you have built the best creation, you yourself will feel happiness, and the joy that emanates will make you to appreciate. That is what Vishwakarma has done. This happens rarely, and it happens only in cases where there is the divine streak of Lord himself working through that person. That sense of appreciation, of course, those who are drowned in ego will also appreciate. This is too beautiful even for me to look at. That is a sense which transcends ego and will only happen to those who are closely tied with the divine. And Vishwakarma, no doubt, is the architect of the universe, isn't it? And he himself says, Sadhu. This is something which I myself appreciate. Divam Gatam Vayupathe Pratishtitam. This Pushpaka Vimanam is floating up in the air. Divam Gatam Vayupathe Pratishtitam. Vyarajata Aditya Pathasya Lakshmavate. As if it is showing the way to the Aditya or sun. And it is also very, very dazzling to look at. Such is the Pushpaka Vimanam. Natatra kinchinna kritam prayatnato, natatra kinchinna maharharatnavate, nate vishesha niyata sureshwapi, natatra kinchinna mahavisheshavate. Essentially, as we have seen, the Kavi, Martin Luther King matra illa. Yeah, I have a dream in Patadana Sunda Madri. This theme of repeating something will essentially help us to capture it in our mind forever. So natatra kinchite, repeat. Like this, you will find repeating sticks. We have already seen that in many other slokas. What is he saying here? There is no stone unturned, and no effort was wasted, and everything due and proper was executed in building the Pushpaka Vimana. Tatra kinchite na kritam prayatnataha. Okay. In other words, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. But to make the thing of beauty, they have taken very special efforts. Vishwakarma had a wonderful, agile team supporting him. And Maharha Ratnavati, they have used all types of gems, jewelry, diamonds that you can think of. Okay. They bought, they figured out where, the rarest of diamonds are available in South Africa. So they would have brought it from there. That's what it means. And so much so that even the Sureshwapi, that is Devatas themselves, they would perhaps not have these type of privileges. Okay. So such is the uniqueness of Pushpaka Vimanam. Tapas samadhana parakramarjitam manas samadhana vicharacharinam aneka samsthana vishesha nirmitam tatastastulya vishesha darshanam Tataha tataha tulya vishesha darshanam. So this is an important sloka. As I was mentioning earlier, Vishwakarma himself is saying sadhu. And the reason why he is saying sadhu is explained in this shloka. So what goes into building such a wonderful masterpiece? Tapaha samadhana parakramarjitam. So in other words, this is not just a work of art, but a lot of spiritual aspects have gone into it. Vishwakarma has done a great deal of tapas. And tapas, as we all know, in one sense, it means sacrifice. In another sense, it means lot of discipline. At the same time, you need to be the master of your art or science, which he was in this case. So tapaha is one aspect. The other thing is samadhanam. So what is samadhanam? Samadhanam, in general, we mean it is focus or concentration, or to have a peace of mind when you are doing something. So in other words, when the piece of art is appreciated by everybody in the universe, it automatically means the person who has done it with a great deal of focus and tapas. Without that, you will never get a masterpiece. So that's the lesson we get here. But samadhanam, so many of us, when we do homas at our home, the very first thing that the priest tells us is Swaminaha manas samadhiyatam. So you start any activity with a peaceful mind, so samadhanam. Adi illanaka, the activity that ensues will not be a masterpiece. And here samadhanam means getting into a state of balance or samasthiti. And also parakramarjitam. Those who executed this were very, very skillful in doing whatever they are. I don't know if you have visited, either the civil engineer's den or the artisan's den. The way they encrust stones with gems. It is both an art and a science. It takes a lot of effort. And so those who have visited many of the forts and fortresses in India, they will explain to you how they would have made those exquisite piece of art. So parakramam irundirukku. And then manas samadhana vichara charinam. So the moment you have tapas samadhanam getting into the piece of work, what is the outcome? The outcome will also result in manaha samadhana vichara charinam. So if you have seen great temples in India with beautiful deities, so some deities are so very beautiful that the moment you see, you don't feel like moving away from that place. I'm sure many of you would have had this feeling in various temples. So even here, the temple in Birmingham is also wonderful. You have the great Lord there. If you closely observe the murti, the delicate nature in which they have carved many things on the deity, as well as the very face of the murti, it will take you to a state of samasthiti or samadhana. So manas samadhana vichara charinam. In other words, this is an excellent lesson for us that whatever deep work we do, we need to drive it through tapas and samadhanam. In such a manner, the outcome should also be manas samadhanam. Aneka samsthana vishesha nirmitam. The Pushpaka Vimanam had several seats, samsthanam naka, places to sit. And it had many different types of seating arrangements in the Pushpaka Vimanam. Tataha tulya vishesha darshanam. And all of them were equally good in appearance. These seats, different types of couches perhaps they had built in the Pushpaka Vimanam. All of them were equally good to look at. Manas samadhayatu shighra gaminam duravaram maruta tulya gaminam Mahatmanam punyakritam mahardhinam yashasvinam agre mudaramivalayam. And manas samadhayatu shighra gaminam duravaram marutatulya gaminam. So in other words, the Pushpaka Vimanam indeed takes you to a mind of samadhanam, and it is capable of flying at the speed of wind, marutatulya gaminam. And who is capable of getting that happiness flying into this Pushpaka Vimanam is Mahatmanam Punyakritam Mahardhinam, those who are really full of riddhi or wealth, those who have made enormous amount of sacrifices and earned punyam, and those who are Mahatmas. Yashasvinam Agryam Mudam Yuvalayam. So it provides you happiness and joy the moment you possess this artifact, which is Pushpaka Vimanam. Visheshamalambya Vishesha Samsthitam Vichitrakutam Bahukuta Manobhiramam Sharadindu Nirmalam Vichitrakutam Shikharam Gireryata. Further description of the Pushpaka Vimanam, as if it has different types of kutas. Okay, kutas means peaks, okay, or assemblage of things. It is designed in a very unique manner. Vishesha Samsthitam Vichitrakutam Bahukuta Manditam. It is decorated with several peaks. Okay, so if you were to draw, an artist's impression of Pushpaka Vimanam, it will have various peaks resembling different giris or mountains. Manobhiramam Sharadindu Nirmalam. It is something which is very pleasing to look at, like the moon in the autumnal moon, and it attracts your mind. Mano Abhiramam Vichitrakutam Shikharam Gireryata, as if you are looking at different mountain peaks. So that is the Upamanam that Kavi gives to Pushpaka Vimanam here. Vahantiyam Kundala Shobhitanana Mahashana Vyomachara Nishacharaha Nivirta Vidhvasta Vishala Lochanaha Mahajaba Bhutagana Sahasrashaha. So who are the people who are guarding this Pushpaka Vimanam? Vahanti, those who are perhaps holding it on their shoulders. Kundala Shobhitanana. So they have beautiful earrings, okay, which are again dazzling to look at. Mahashanaha Vyomacharaha Nishacharaha. So the Pushpaka Vimanam is held by Nishacharaha, those who are capable of working in the night. Yeah, they always work in the third shift. Nishacharaha, Vyomacharaha, they are capable of flying in the skies. And Mahashanaha, Hevalo Saptalam Porade. That's the quintessential definition of a Rakshasa. Okay. So how much ever you eat, you are not satisfied. So therefore, their bodies will be really enormous. Nivirta Vidhvasta Vishala Lochanaha. Their eyes are really big, and it is really hard to look at their faces. Romba gorama irukku. Mahajavaha Bhutaganaha Sahasrashaha. And again, they can fly at tremendous speed. Javamna speed, Mano Javam Solralya, one who travels at the speed of mind. So these Rakshasas also can travel at very high speeds. Bhutaganaha Sahasrashaha. So perhaps that is what explains the gravity aspect of Pushpaka Vimanam. There are thousands of Rakshasas who can float in air and go at a very high speed. So they are all holding this Pushpaka Vimanam. So luckily, it respects the laws of physics. Something has to hold such a mighty structure. So you had all these Bahubalis who are up in the air and holding the Pushpaka Vimanam. Vasanta Pushpotkara Charu Darshanam Vasanta Masadapi Kanta Darshanam Sapushpakam Tatra Vimanamuttamam Dadarsha Tadvanara Veera Sattamaha. Vanara Veera Sattama Hanuman. What did he see there? Vasanta Pushpotkara Charu Darshanam. Romba nanna irukku paakkradhukku Charu Darshanam. It's beautiful to look at. Very similar to the blossoming Vasantam, the season of spring. Vasanta Masadapi Kanta Darshanam. It's even more beautiful than the spring. Essentially, the beauty of flowers that you get to see during spring season. Sa Pushpakam Tatra Vimanam Uttamam. This is a beautiful Vimanam called Pushpaka Vimanam. That's what our hero Hanuman saw. इत्यार्षे श्रीमद् रामायणे वाल्मीकि आदिकाव्ये चतुर्विंशतिसहस्रिकायां संहितायां सुन्दरकाण्डे पुष्पकानुवर्णनं नाम अष्टमः सर्गः समाप्तः. So it's a very small sargam, and the fact that a separate sargam is given to Pushpaka Vimanam in spite of the previous sargam also describing Pushpaka Vimanam shows that this is a really beautiful work of art. Work of engineering and everything else, and perhaps it has a special role to play towards the end of Srimad Ramayanam. We'll see what happened to the Pushpaka Vimanam and who eventually used it, isn't it? So we'll proceed into the Navama Sargaha. It's called Sankula Antahpuram. So now Hanuman is getting closer to the Antahpuram, and we'll see a description of the harem. Basically, his all types of wives will be there apart from his queen, who is Mandodari. Tasyalaya varishtasya madhye vipulamayatam dadarsha bhavana sreshtham Hanuman marutatmajaha. Tasyalaya varishtasya madhye vipulamayatam. So in the middle of the alayam, the main building. So what did Hanuman see? He saw a Vipulamna, very spacious and huge. Ayatamna, huge natham. So he saw the Bhavana Sreshtam, the most important of all mansions. That is what Hanuman saw. Ardhayojana vistirnam ayatam yojanam hitate bhavanam rakshasendrasya bahuprasada sankulam. Ardhayojana vistirnam. It is half a mile long. Ayatam yojanam hitate. Sorry, it is half a mile wide and 1 mile long. So that's the dimension, length and breadth of the Bhavana Sreshtam. Bhavanam Rakshasendrasya Bahuprasada Sankulam. Again, this is something which had many different smaller palaces within it. Prasadam also means multitude of palaces within the main Bhavanam. Margamanastu Vaidehim Sita Mayatalohchanam Sarvatah Parichakrama Hanuman Arisudanaha. Arisudanaha is somebody who can vanquish all types of enemies. That is Hanuman. Parichakrama, he started to wander here and there in search of Sita Mata. Margamanastu Vaidehim Sitam Ayatalochanam. So she is somebody who has beautiful large eyes. So Hanuman started to look for Sita Mata there. Uttamam Rakshasavasam Hanuman Avalokayan Asata Data Lakshmivan Rakshasendra Niveshanam Chaturvishanair Dviradaihi Trivishanais Tataivacha Parikshittam Asambadham Rakshamana Mudayudhaihi. So Uttamam Rakshasavasam. It's one of the most important and best among the best of palaces that Hanuman entered. And he is Lakshmivan. Hanuman is Lakshmivan. Rakshasendra Niveshanam. And what else did he see there? He saw different types of elephants there. Okay. One vandittu Chaturvishanaihi. They had 4 tusks. Then there were elephants which were Trivishanaihi with 3 tusks. There were also elephants with the normal Dviradaihi, which had 2 tusks. So idallam and kaalathila irundirukku. Perhaps they are all extinct. Only Dviradam is available today. And Rakshamana Mudayudhaihi. There were different types of demons there who were armed with weapons and protecting this particular most important palace there. Rakshasibhischa patnibhi Ravanasya niveshanam ahirtabhischa vikramya rajakanyabhiravritam Tannakramakarakeernam Timingala Jashakulam Vayivega Samadhutam Pannagairiva Sagaram. What else did Hanuman see there? Ravanasya Patnibhihi Rakshasibhihi. There are many wives of Ravana that he sees there. And he perhaps won over many of these wives from others. That is Vikramya. Or Ahirtabihi, he perhaps bought some of these wives. Abdin soldaringa. Adana Ravanudi Lakshanam. He Aparikana Ellatyam. And Raja Kanyabhihi. Perhaps these were princes. Many of them were unmarried before Ravana married these Rakshasis. Avritam Niveshanam. So this central Bhavanam is full of such princesses who are now queens of Ravana. But what else is protecting them? Nakra Makarakirnam. Nakramna, sharks pere Nakram. Makaram is crocodiles. So there is perhaps a moat that is protecting the central piece. Antapuram. Timingila Jashakulam. It's also full of whales and fish. Abdin soldaringa. Vayivega Samadhutam Pannagaihi Sagaram Iva. So it appeared as if it is shaken by the force of wind. Vayivega Samadhutam Pannagaihi. So imagine there are serpents which are moving at a very high speed. So it appeared as if there is an ocean which is full of Timingalam, etc. So there are two things here. One is there is a moat which is protecting this central piece. The other thing is Hanuman is picturizing all these Rakshasas themselves as crocodiles, whales, sharks, etc. So that is how he got that picture there, basically. Ya hi Vaishravane Lakshmihi Ya Cendre Harivahane Sa Ravana Grihe Sarva Nityamevanapayini. Whatever wealth is possessed by Vaishravana, Kuberaya, Vaishravanaya, Maharajaya Namaha Solaya. Kubera's another name is Vaishravana, and he is the son of Vishrava. That's why he is called Vaishravana. Whatever wealth is that of Kubera and that of Indra. Yahi Vaishravane Lakshmihi Yachendre Harivahane. That is Indra rides on top of the elephant. Sa Ravana Grihe Sarva. So you can see a very, very wealthy place there. That's the meaning here. Nityameva Anapayini. This central piece is full of wealth. Ya Acharajnya Kuberasya Yamasya Varunasya Cha Tadashi Tadvishishtava Riddhi Raksho Griheshviha. Again, who else can possess this type of wealth? Abdingar the description or Rajnyaha Kuberasya Ya Yamasya Varunasya Cha. Even there is wealth that is possessed by Yama and Varuna. Tadrishi Tadvishishtava. So it's the wealth that you can see there is akin to the palaces of Kubera, Yama, Indra, Varuna, and basically all the important gods who are there in the heaven. Tasya harmyasya madhyastam veshmachanyat sunirmitam bahu niryuha sankirnam dadarsha pavanatmajaha. So among the various palaces within the central palace, what else did he see? He madhyastam sunirmitam. There is something which is really well built. Bahu niryuha sankirnam. Again, even that had a complex of many different houses. So idalan zoom in pandar. Is going into the most important antapuram of Ravana. Parena tapasalebhe yat kubera pitamahate kubera mojasa jitva लेभे तद्राक्षसेश्वरः. So did I complete the other one? Brahmanorte, sorry. Brahmanorte kritam divyam divyad vishwakarmana vimanam pushpakam nama sarvaratna vibhushitam parena tapasa lebhe yat kubera pitamahat kubera mojasa jitva lebhe tadrakshaseshwaraha. Sloka number 11 and 12. So again, Hanuman takes a look at Pushpaka Vimanam once again. And this Pushpaka Vimanam, there is the origin. Who was it originally created for? Brahmanorte Kritam Divyam. It was done, constructed by Vishwakarma for use by Chaturmukha Brahma. And it is very Divyam. Vimanam Pushpakam Nama Sarvaratna Vibhushitam. It is full of different types of diamonds. And how was this constructed? Parena tapasa lebhe yat kuberaha pitamahat. So by doing enormous amount of tapas, Kubera got this masterpiece from Pitamaha. Okay, so this was constructed by Vishwakarma for Chaturmukha Brahma, and through tapas Kubera obtained it from Pitamaha for his own purpose. Okay. And then finally, Kuberam Ojasa Jitva Lebhe Tadrakshaseshwaraha. The data lineage அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இந்த காலத்துல. ஒரு டேட்டா ஒரு இடத்துல ஆரம்பிச்சு இன்னொரு இடத்துல போய் சேர்றது. So it's a complete lineage that is given here of the Pushpaka Vimanam. So finally, it is Rakshasendra Ravana who conquered Kubera and obtained not only Pushpaka Vimanam but also perhaps the palace. The most important there. Iha mriga samayuktaihi kartaswara hiranmayaihi sukrutai rajitam stambhaihi pradiptamiva cha shriya meru mandara sankashaihi alikhatbhir ivambaram kutagarai shubhakaraihi sarvatas samalankritam. Further description of Pushpaka Vimanam. Now Hanuman is getting closer. Modalla Pushpaka Vimanam, he is seeing it from a distance. Now he is getting closer to Pushpaka Vimanam. This is a closer description of Pushpaka Vimanam itself. Iha mriga samayuktaihi. It is carved with different types of wolves there. Images of wolves are carved there. Kartaswara hiranmayehi. There are two types of gold. One 99.9% pure, another is 91.6 kdm. And the Madri Kartaswaram Hiranmayam. Again, there are two types of gold, and that is the plating that you can see on different stambhas there. Sukurtaihi, stambhaihi, achitam. It is supported by different types of stambhas. Some stambhas are very straight. Some are also bent. Adin soldaringa. And they are all pradiptamiva meru mandara sankashai. The stambhas are so tall that they resemble the Meru and Mandara mountains, as if they are writing something up in the sky. Ullikhat birva shubhakaraihi. They are really auspicious to look at. That's important. And kutagarehi sarvataha samalankritam. Kutagaramna, they are places where you can end up enjoying everything. Okay, you can think of these as pleasure houses. Sarvataha samalankatam. It is beautifully decorated on all directions. So it's a really beautiful scene of Pushpaka Vimanam. Jwalanarka pratikasham. I'm very sorry. Jwalanarka pratikasham sukrutam vishwakarmana hema sopana samyuktam charu pravara vedikam. Jwalana arka pratikasham. Just like the glowing sun. And the madri irukku. Idu sukrutam vishwakarmana. This Pushpaka Vimanam constructed by Vishwakarma. Hema sopana samyuktam. It has stairs which are encrusted with gold. and Charupravara Vedikam had different types of beautiful Vedikais or platforms. Vidrumena Vichitrena Manibhischa Mahadhanihi Nistulabhischa Muktabhihi Talena Bhivirajitam. What else? Did I miss one slokam? Okay. I don't know what's happening to me today. Jalavatayanairyuktam Kanchanai Sphatikairapi Indranila Mahanila Manipravara Vedikam Jalavatayanairyuktam. So it had beautiful windows அப்படின்னு சொல்றார். And அதெல்லாம் nets இருக்க மாதிரி இருக்கும். The windows appear to have nets and they were latticed windows. Okay. Kanchanehi Sphatikam. Even Sphatika was used. Indranila, Mahanila, Manipravara, Vedikam. These are all the different types of manis that were encrusted. You know, Indranilamna, I think it is sapphires. The different types of sapphires were also seen there. The next lokam is Vidrumena Vichitrena Manibhischa Mahadhanehi. So the different types of corals that are used, which are very, very precious, and gems, Manibhischa. அப்புறம் நிஸ்துலாபிஹி முக்தாபிஹி. நிஸ்துலம்னா துலம் பண்ண முடியாது. That which is peerless. You cannot compare it with anything else. அப்பேற்பட்ட pearls. There were different types of pearls that were used. தலேன அபிவிராஜிதம். And these are all on the surface அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. So imagine the great deal of care with which Vishwakarma had done for the use of Chaturmukha Brahma. Chandanena cha raktena tapaniya nibhena cha supunya gandhina yuktam aditya tarunopamam. Raktena tapaniya nibhena. It is reddish in color. Okay. Tapaniya nibhena, comparable to pure and polished gold. So perhaps it has a reddish tinge there. And supunya gandhina chandanena yuktam Aditya Tarunopamam. It is resembling the color of Aditya, Taruna Aditya, that is the early rising sun. And the fragrance that you can see is Supunya Gandhina Chandanena. Essentially, the sandalwood fragrance is emanating from Pushpaka Vimanam. So it's a really beautiful. It is so enticing for us that we wish we were all there in Pushpaka Vimanam. Vimanam Pushpakam Divyam Aruroha Mahakapihi Tatrastha Satada Gandham Pana Bhakshanna Sambhavam Divyam Sammurchitam Jighrate Upavantamiwanilam Sagandhastam Mahasatvam Bandhurbandhumivottamam. So the most auspicious moment now is Lord Hanuman. Vimanam Pushpakam Divyam Aruroha Mahakapihi. He now ascended the Pushpaka Vimanam. It's a really great muhurta, isn't it? As if Pushpaka Vimanam will be so happy to welcome this guest who is coming. So far, it is supported by various types of Rakshasas, isn't it? Now is the time where you are really welcoming a hero. Tatrastaha sa tada gandham pana bhakshana sambhavam. There is also fragrance that is coming from different types of food and drinks that were being served there. Divyam sammurchitam. So the smell again coming from the food and drinks is also divyam. Sammurchitam. It is something which will make you fall into murcham. It will make you unconscious with that smell. So it's a very enticing smell. Jighrate. So Hanuman essentially smelt all of this. And what else there? Rupavantam Anilamiva Gandham Jighrate. So in other words, he smelt air which had this fragrance. So there is a subtle concept here, which is in Tarkasangraham. the definition of earth is Tatra Gandhavati Prithivi. The Lakshanam of Prithivi is that which is fragrant is called as Prithivi. So among all the attributes that you can talk of for Mother Earth, the most important Lakshanam, if this is not there, then it is not earth. Abdin sollakudi Lakshanam enna Tatra Gandhavati Prithivi. So, but that fragrance is now associated with wind here, Vayu. So normally Vayu is something which will not have fragrance of its own, but that place is full of such fragrance that even the Lakshanam of Vayu is changed to that of Prithvi. Okay, that's the subtle aspect here. And why I am saying that Bandhu Mivottamam. So Hanuman is Marutatmajaha, and this wind which is full of fragrance is now inviting Vavan Kuprayara Hanuman. Bandhu Mivottam, Uttamavana Bandhu. It is a most important relative of wind god. Sagandhastam Mahasatvam. Itayehi Yuvacheva Yat Tatra Yatra Saravanaha Tatastam Prasthitasalam Dadarsha Mahatim Shubham. So the wind is so inviting. It is telling Hanuman, so you have now reached the place which is very close to Ravana. Tatra Yatrasa Ravanaha Itayehi. Here only. It is giving Hanuman a hint. So the most beautiful, the most wealthy, the richest part of the entire Bhavanam is this place. You have reached this place. The wind god is giving a hint to Hanuman. And there he saw the great Shala, Tadastam, Prasthita Shalam. And what is that Shala full of? Ravanasya manak kantam, bless you. Kantam iva varastriyam, manisopana vikritam, hemajala virajitam. Ravanasya manak kantam. This is something which is so dear to Ravana. Kantam iva varastriyam. He saw the most important queens of Ravana. See, it appeared as if it is the chief queen of Ravana who will be very close to his heart, who will be present there. Mani Sopana Vikritam, Hemajala Virajitam. Again, their staircase, which is encrusted with special gems, and it is latticed with all types of gold. Sphatikay Ravrtatalam, Dantantaritaropikam, Muktabhischa Pravalaischa, Rupya Chami Karairapi. Sphatikam, it is full of Sphatikam there. Avrta Talam, the land is full of Sphatikam. Dantantaratiropikam, it also is encrusted with the ivory which comes from the elephants. Muktabhischa, pearls. Pravalam, that is Pavalam. Rupya Chami Karairapi. So it is full of silver and gold. So it's really beautiful to look at. Vibhushitam manistambhaihi subahustambha bhushitam samair rujubhihi atyuchaihi samantat suvibhushitaihi. Vibhushitam manistambhaihi. The pillars are also encrusted with different types of money. Subahustambha bhushitam. There are many different pillars that you could see there. Samaihi Rujubihi Atyuchaihi Samantat Subhushitai. These pillars are all Ruju, they are very straight. Some of these pillars, they are very straight and they are very tall. Samantat Ella Pakamu Subhushitai. So it's again a very rich decoration of the various stambhas that Hanuman sees there. Stambhaihi Pakshaihi Ivatyuchaihi Divam Samprasthitamiva Mahatya Kuthaya Stirnam Prithivi Lakshanankaya. So these Stambhaihi Pakshay, as if they had wings. That is what he sees there. And Samprasthitamiva. Uchaihi Divam Samprasthita. They appear as if they are ready to take flight to the heavens. Now, the other thing that we can see here is Mahatya Kuthayastirnam. See, now we'll have a description of the carpets that Hanuman sees. These carpets, they're apparently different types of carpets he sees there. And they are pillar to pillar. The carpets are running all over the place. Prithvi Lakshanankaya. Now, what are these carpets full of? So these are full of several murals of earth. Many of you would have visited different places where there are lighting arrangements that show on the ground. It's full of gardens and other things, isn't it? So very similar here. The carpets, they are all very artistic. They are full of several murals that depict earth itself. Other description are for the Prithivim iva vistirnam sarashtra grihamalinim naditam matta vihagaihi divyagandhadivasitam varardhyastaranopeta rakshodhi paniveshit nishevitam dhumram agarudhupena vimalam hamsapandaram prithivimiva vistirnam. Sorry, I may have stepped over. I hope it's okay. I'll just complete these two slokas. Prithimiva vistirnam. These carpets appear as if it is covering anything that you can see on earth. That is portrayed there. Sarashtra Grihamalinim. So you can see different types of palaces which are picturized on the carpet. And what else did Hanuman see there? Naditam Matta Vihegaihi. Saw different types of birds that are making noises. At the same time, Divya Gandhadi Vasitam, different types of fragrances he smelt there. This is something that Hanuman saw in the house there. Parardhyas Taranopetam, different types of tapestries is something Hanuman saw. Dhumram Agarudhupene Vimalam Hamsa Pandaram. So it appeared as if it is something very heavenly. Hamsa Pandaram, white as swans, Hamsas, Vimalam, and the smell that is coming is from Agaru Dhupam. So with this fragrant smell and the experience of Pushpaka Vimanam, we'll conclude our session here today.
Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Samsara Chiradbhava Mukta Guru Charana Puja Krishna Krishna Sendriya Devam Rakshasi Nija Hridayastam Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate
Kayena vacha manasa indriyirva buddhya atmana va prakrite subhavate karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai shriman narayana yeti samarpayami sarvam Sri Ramachandra Arpanamastu. Have a great day and a week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raghavji. Thank you.